Hello, I'm MPX Toycat, and welcome back to the Minecraft Update News videos. There's a very exciting date because it is the release date of the first 1.17 snapshot for Minecraft Java Edition. And if there is nothing else you take from this Caves and Cliffs video, just note 5 key things about this snapshot. First of all, we can make birthday cakes for the first time. Second of all, they have finally taken the lava bucket feature from the Bedrock Edition and put it onto the Java one as well. Third of all, there is finally a use for rabbit leather, which is great because they added a new item which doesn't have a use because this spyglass right here does not have extended render distance, so it's functionally useless, sadly, but it's all made up for by the fact that the brand new Amethyst block, when you stand on it, makes this noise. It's beautiful, and also is carried through when you break the block as well. Isn't this beautiful? I think you'll agree it is. But in today's video, let's talk more about how, what, why, and everything in this snapshot, which I hope you will enjoy. But let's dive straight into it. Let's not start with the whole like the video, blah 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 blah. Let's just go into the brand new features. And I think we should start perhaps with the simple ones, because there are two, basic parity changes we can make right here. One is the lava cauldrons, and one, it's like a kind of updated aquatic lake feature, but it's the ability to put rails and to put minecarts underwater. I think this is a fun one on the surface because you can now make underwater minecart systems. In other words, rails and minecarts with waterlog, which is something that's been overdue for a long time, but they're cool, they're easy to talk about. One that is slightly less easy to talk about is the candles. Candles are one of the most interesting parts of this update because of just how many variants they come in. I mean, you can take a candle and you can place it down just by itself if you really want to, or you can stack it down and you can make up to 4 on the same block. So there is 4 different variants of the candle, and then you can also color it in every single one of the colors in the game. So if you want, say, a blue candle, guess what? You can totally do that, and then you can take that blue candle and you can have it not just in a bundle of 1 or a bundle of 2, but 3 or 4 as well. And then obviously it just takes a flint and steel and you can light it just like so, and boom, it's really nice that you can have candles in Minecraft. It's a different type of light source that presumably will have some link to the deep dark, maybe, we think, from how things go, but the key use right now, the one that Mojang is talking about, is that you can now put a candle on a cake and make a birthday cake. Is that really so useful? I mean, I'll let you be the judge of that one. But speaking of things that don't seem so useful on the surface, we have 2 brand new blocks in Minecraft. We have the tuff and we have the calcite. So these 2 blocks have a deep link to the amethyst, and rather than explaining them to you by just showing the blocks like this, how about instead I show you one of these in the wild. So right now in a caves preset world, so if I hop into creative, I can show you that, even in here, this will generate all across your Minecraft world naturally, but here's one that generated just above where I made the video. You can see how there is one of these amethyst geodes. So amethyst geodes are spottable from the outside, or if you're doing your spectator mode stuff, because of all of these tough blocks that surround them. You should also recognize when you're nearby these things that there is this brand new block which spawns kind of between the 2 of them, and that is the brand new calcite block. So I think calcite is a lot prettier than tuff. I mean, some people like tuff. I think it looks a lot like dead coral. It's just another one of these ugly blocks that I guess needs to exist and that maybe someone can do something with. But the way more important thing is that you get this amethyst geode alongside it. So bear in mind, an amethyst geode is a naturally spawning structure, and the cool thing about these is they're blocks of amethyst you can take around with you, but there's also these amethyst clusters which can be used to get crystals. That's pretty cool. I mean, also, did you hear the noise? It's pretty darn cool, right? So yeah, they make not only do they have a little light source attached, but also they have the ability to give you crystals, which are really useful for a bunch of reasons. Again, I want to dive so much into amethysts and how they spawn and stuff, but I want to kind of wait till that's finalized and we see that. So in a future Bedrock beta, we can talk more about that once we know that it's kind of locked down. But for now, just know that amethyst geodes are where you find amethysts. It's actually a little bit more complex than that because you have to find a particular type of the amethyst geode in the background, because there's not just amethysts. There's also the things that there's the budding amethyst, which is where amethyst crystals actually spawn. You can notice it because of the slight pattern difference. But yeah, again, that's a thing for a future topic. For now, just know that you can grow amethyst, which is how you get those crystals, because it's a crystal cave, basically. This is the only new cave generation we saw in today's snapshot. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, it's pretty darn cool, right? I mean, just the noises alone. I mean, I love listening to it, and I could do it all day. So right now, there are 2 main uses for these amethyst shards once you actually do harvest them. By the way, you can use fortune to get more of them. There are 2 uses, and I really say 2, but I mean 1, because the spyglass is one of these. And yeah, I know, the spyglass, surely for someone role-playing, it's going to be a lot of fun. But the reality is, for most players, the spyglass isn't great because it doesn't deal with the rendering correctly. Something we were maybe expecting is that like, oh yeah, the spyglass will allow you to see further. That is not the case. If we look over at the entire void of rendering, all we see are these random particles that represent the sky. That's not useful. That's not what's actually over there. And I figured, maybe it's just my render distance is set super low. What if we turn it all the way to the max of Java, right now? What about then? Will it be able to like render better? And the answer is no. It doesn't. It doesn't render things in. It is the things that you see normally are the things you're going to see with this spyglass enabled. And that's cool, I guess, but the reality is the spyglass just isn't a useful item in its present form. Maybe that's something they want to fix into it, or maybe it's just meant to be a fun, like, ooh, I can be a pirate captain with my spyglass. But the one thing that is worth doing with your Amethyst shards is to instead use its secondary recipe. So this is pretty costly because you do need to take yourself a bunch of Amethyst, and then you want to put some glass in the middle. This gives you a brand new block called Tinted Glass. So Tinted Glass suspiciously looks like black stained glass. You might even have thought in the intro of this video like, oh, that's what that is, right? That's what this brand new Tinted Glass is. But no, Tinted Glass promises to be glass, except unlike all other glass, it doesn't let light through. And it's really hard to prove, that effect while we've got night vision on. So let's go ahead and let's just, clear the effect on ourselves, shall we? We can't see anything right now besides our light sources. It's actually kind of beautiful seeing just some candles lit in the distance. But let's light some candles on this side of the glass now. Let's show you that kind of effect, by the way, when there's nothing else around. As you can see, it's a low-level light that maybe you want. It's kind of ambient lighting in that way. And then let's place some tinted glass down. Now, as you can see, that cave is dark, despite the fact that there's a light source just out here. It's kind of fun in my opinion, but if we break one of these blocks, which we can do with our fists, by the way, even in survival, if we break one of those blocks, the light gets in, and then as you can see, glass kind of like that. So yeah, Tinted Glass allows you to look into things without affecting the light level, which sounds really cool, and again, it's a hard principle to really show off, and someone said, oh yeah, imagine if you had a tinted glass house. You would be able to see the outside world without your light from the inside affecting the outside. And you know what? Rather than taking, pleasant words for it, how about we prove that ourselves? Man, it is so dark inside of a cave at night. It is. Minecraft Java is just not a very bright game. Okay, so here we have a tinted glass house, as you can see, and look at all the light that we have around the outside of this, and look at how it's not going on the inside in the slightest. That is just as dark as looking into the void over there, because again, darkness levels. It's a whole thing over here, but looking around, you can see just how staggering it is once you truly do light this on all sides. I really enjoy seeing that, like, oh yeah, we can see what's on the inside, but it's fully dark in there, meaning that hypothetically mobs will spawn in there, etc, etc, etc. And as long as you break the blocks after you let yourself in, which we're going to do right now, as long as you put them back, that means you can live in the exact opposite world, where you're in darkness and the rest of the world is light. Or, perhaps if you want to have a light block in here, and then you remove all of those glowstone, you would be living in a bright house, while the outside world would be entirely dark. Being able to control light levels in a much more effective way is actually seriously cool, and how much this affects farms and stuff is something we've yet to see. There's another big farming changes update that two shulkers, when they attack each other, can breed and basically make another shulker. That is a huge change that, again, we have to wait. See how well it affects farms. We don't know if it fully will. We just know it's going to have, we don't know the full benefits of it until, people play around with it. But it's going to have some big changes, what we're saying. So, with that said, let's turn night vision on again. I don't like being in the dark. I like seeing the caves in their full beauty. So let's talk about that use for rabbit leather now, shall we? Because interestingly enough, rabbit hide, was one of the most pointless items in Minecraft. Even though the rabbit had some use outside of it, I mentioned how the rabbit was one of the first mobs that was borderline not useful. I love that they're going back and basically fixing that by giving rabbit hide a real use that isn't just turning rabbit hide into leather. I think that's dumb. I think that's a bad use for rabbit hide. So instead, the new use for rabbit hide is to do something a little bit like this. So we take some rabbit hide and we take some string, and do you know where this is going yet? I wonder at what point you work it out, because there is a new crafting recipe that involves, if I'm not mistaken, two string like that, and then rabbit leather filling the outside. This is actually one of the newer crafting recipes in Minecraft right now, in more complex ones, I should say. And as you can see, you get a bundle out of the process. And bundles will allow you to take any stack of items and put it inside of the bundle. However, just putting 64 light candles isn't actually a very useful thing, but hypothetically, you can put, say, 4 rabbit hide in there. You can put your lightning rod in there. We'll get to that, don't worry. You can put your bucket in there as well, and it will take the fraction of a stack that a particular item should have, and it will use it in there. So yeah, we can have all sorts of items hidden inside of our bundle if we really want to, which I think is kind of beautiful. Right now, again, I have some weird times playing around with it. And also right now, something I have to imagine is either a bug or an oversight, is the fact that you can put bundles inside of bundles. Then you can put those bundles inside of other bundles, and then you can put multiple bundles within the same bundle, and if we put these bundles inside of this bundle, all I'm saying right here is things don't make a lot of sense, but you can have multiple bundles inside of your bundles, and oh god, what is even happening? It's a fun time, right? So yeah, you can have bundles inside bundles inside bundles, on a worrying number of levels, but it means you can store your bundles in one place. I just don't think that it's intentional. I think it's a super fun mechanic though. I think this is really great early game material, but the fact that it requires you to kill rabbits, even though that's a good use for the rabbit, I wonder if that inhibits the effectiveness of the bundle for the early game. I mean, admittedly, there is a big jump between shulkers, which are necessary for shulker boxes, and rabbits, which are necessary for this. I just wondered, I worry if that means that the widespread adoption of the bundle isn't really that likely. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I'd like to be wrong. But something I wouldn't like to be wrong about is copper ore. I love how copper ore looks. If you disagree, you're wrong. This, you know, if there's anything we've learned from this time of year, people who disagree with you are objectively wrong, and you get to call them terrible people. So you dislike a copper ore, you're bad, you're wrong, I hate you, I despise your guts. So with that said, the interesting thing about this is copper ore, if you look at it right here, is a really fun new block that you can find inside of Minecraft. It's the only ore that they have indicated will be coming in the 1.17 update for both Java and Bedrock. Everything in this update so far is coming to both Java and Bedrock. They're trialing some features on Java first, some on Bedrock, but they're all coming across both platforms. But if you take these copper ores, you can smelt them into ingots, and then 9 ingots is what it takes to get some of the new copper blocks. So as you can see, copper comes in a lot of forms. I'd show it off, but real quickly, there is a copper block, which is kind of like a gold block, but for copper. But then also, there's the aged version of all of these things. There's also the semi-aged version. Also, if you want to, you can wax your blocks using, bees, using the honeycomb, and then you can keep them in their form. So if you want to have waxed, stairs forever, so they'll stay orange, you can totally do that. If I place down these stairs and I wait an ungodly amount of time, they will still be orange, or copper-colored, I guess you could say. And same with the semi-weathered phase, although, again, personally, I don't think most people would want semi-weathered, the copper stairs. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I think it looks like a zombie color. Almost. If you don't mind me taking a tangent here, though, and if you do mind me taking a tangent, then you're probably on the wrong channel. We do this all the time. Copper actually has a really fun progression, right? It goes from copper ore to copper ingots to copper blocks, and then obviously you've got the lightly weathered, the semi-weathered versions, which are absurdly long names, but then you get to the lightly weathered cut copper slab, which is already one of the longest names you can get in Minecraft, as well as the semi-weathered and lightly weathered cut copper stairs. But then because of the waxing to it, it means we can have so many prefixes that we end up with the waxed, lightly weathered cut copper slab. This is 6 words to describe one Minecraft block. We can have the waxed, lightly weathered cut copper slabs. Look at the number of characters in this title. It is too long. I think Minecraft needs to maybe get that under control, because how long is it till we've got even more words in the title? I thought the last update was bad enough, but we are just going full steam ahead on this, I guess. 5, 7. So the lightning rod is something I was super curious about, not because I wanted it or I thought it was too useful. I mean, its use is self-explanatory. It attracts lightning from nearby buildings, but something you can do with it that I'm grateful for is, it doesn't need to attach to a block below it. This means that you can attach lightning rods, not only sideways, like we can see right here, and we can make fun little builds. I don't know what happened there, but we can make fun little builds with little sideways rails, kind of like the end rod, but I love the look of this so much more than end rods. So that's kind of cool, first of all. But also you can use it to like place blocks off other blocks, and again, things get real weird real fast with what you can do right here. But yeah, if you want to make the weirdest staircase in the world, you better believe you can use copper lightning rods to do so. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting building block. I think the use of it as a lightning rod will be kind of secondary. If you have a wall roof, you'll obviously want to craft one. But the much cooler use is using it as a building block, and I hope we see more use of this down the line. Overall, to kind of give you the roundup of this, I think the most notable features are the ones I mentioned in the intro. I think Amethyst is really cool and will give people more pause for thought. I think the number of features here is probably one of the bigger dumps we'll be getting for a while in this update, and I just love that we're seeing this snapshot with all of these features and your dark lighthouse. I want to darken that up again. I find that so interesting. Oh, it's not dark clear night vision, but which is interesting because it's dark in there right now. It was as dark as it was earlier, but we can see it fully, even though it can't see us fully. It's a weird time. But yeah, basically, it's super interesting to see these snapshots coming out. I think there is some work required. I mean, again, I don't wanna rail on the spyglass too much. I mean, they tried their best, but do I really need to zoom into candles? Oh, did it just go out? Oh, I found a rendering issue, have I? Or maybe it was literally just, oh, there we go, yeah. Okay, nope, it was just, huh? Okay, there we go, we're good now. But as you can see, the spyglass is fun, but like, it's like Optifine Zoom, but worse. And therefore, and also you have to craft something for it, so like, would you really want to do that? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I think I think copper's great. I always want to see more copper uses, but the number of copper blocks we have is wonderful. And the fact that we have like 16 new colors of candle, it's just a fun little bonus on top of all that stuff. Also, the minecarts underwater and the lava cauldron thing, great little additions as well, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you did all enjoy it. If you liked the video, like it and let me know. I'm just kidding. If you like it, you gotta smash that bell. I'm a YouTuber, so I'm using the end of my video to promote my other videos, because did you know I make my living by you watching hopefully more than one video off my channel at some point in your life. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for a live stream, actually. So that'll be fun, won't it? Just considering getting back into speedrunning or something like that. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.